I'm Megan Mitchell. This is my co-host, John Morrison, and you are listening to the True North Racing Podcast.
Ain't no hesitation, got me going crazy. Keep it moving, I'm tuned in to True North Racing, the podcast that you need if you got the need for speed. John Morrison interviewing guests in the industry. Hey, short track, stock car racing, gotta get it hype. Saturday night under the lights, hear the engine rooming by. Smell the gas and feel the vibe, going into overdrive. Drop the flag, then the car zooming by. Hey, True North Racing, let's go.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of the True North Racing Podcast, brought to you by Jon and Megan Promotions. My name is John Morrison. Happy Clash Day, everybody. Today's the first race of the NASCAR season. We had the NASCAR Clash going on today. But before we even get into this, I'm joined by my amazing co-host, Megan Mitchell. Megan, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, John?
I'm doing very well, thank you. How's your weekend?
Pretty good. How about
What'd you get up to?
Not a whole lot.
I was gonna say, if you don't want to talk about it, we don't have to this time. I won't put you on the spot like I did last night with with Connor.
Yeah, that's okay. I got registered officially for the 2023 season this weekend, so
that means we can finally announce this. Let's just dive in. Megan, what is the racing plans for MRC Racing in 2023? I'm excited to hear this one.
Okay. So we are up to 3 cars. Sorry, I showed 4. We have 3 cars that are going to be built. We have a 4th, which was my old road car. That will be if we can't find anything else, we'll use it. But as of now, I will make my return this year in a Cobalt. Chase is making a return in a Sunfire. Rachel makes her very first.
I'm sorry, did you just say Rachel? Like Rachel Mitchell, your sister, the girl who designed our amazing new apparel, is now getting behind the wheel of a stock car?
She is. So she'll be in the car that my dad was in.
I love this. I'm excited.
Right. So I'm still having some doubts in myself. I have a lot of barriers to overcome, so I took it upon myself to sign my dad on as my co-driver. Plus, I feel bad if he doesn't have a ride right away. So,
yep.
I would like to be able to give him an opportunity to drive. I'm not really running. I registered for points because, I would hate to not register and then end up doing better than I thought I would. And be like, dang, I could have been collecting points for this. So, but I'm not planning on doing anything intense. I just want to get back out there and all of us get back out there and Rachel try her hand at it.
Yeah, honestly, it's gonna be so cool to see the siblings go out there and race. It's gonna be cool to go out there and see, your dad race against you guys, depending on in what capacity, I don't know yet. But all of this is enticing, and I'm gonna jump ahead. I'm sorry, but we're gonna come back to it because now that just means we have 3 more additional drivers to add to the Jon Media drivers list in 2023. Because we already had your dad signed on. We already knew that because we weren't fully sure what you guys' plans were, and I didn't want to announce stuff but we kind of knew your dad was supposed to race this year.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to essentially have you guys entirety as a family to work with. I'm excited. This is so cool. How are you guys feeling going into this? Are you guys excited that you're going to be racing against your siblings? Are you guys going to hold grudges afterwards? How do you guys feel what's going to happen when you realize you guys are now battling each other and not just 3 of you guys standing on, you guys standing on the outside of the fence and one of you guys on track. Now it's 3 to 4 of you guys
Yeah.
on track. How's the mindset going into this?
I don't know about them, but I'm all over the place. Like I'm the kind of person I don't want to see anything happen to them on track, and I
Yep.
get really defensive. So like I've already thought about it. I'm like, what happens if I see their car in the infield? I'm myself, and I'm probably gonna pull into the infield myself to make sure they're okay. Like, but like I'm not planning on anything like that happening, but I think it'll be cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be a different mindset. I feel like all you guys are gonna have to have. Like it's either you're gonna dive off to the infield to go see if they're good, or you're gonna be like, loser, and keep driving on.
Yeah. I feel like by the end of the season that's what it will be like once we're all more or once I'm more confident in all of our driving, then
Yeah,
I'll just be like, yeah, yeah, see you later. I'm ahead of you now.
it's gonna be
But
great to watch you guys all season. That is for certain.
it's gonna be a big learning curve. But we'll do
Um,
it. We'll get it.
absolutely. I want to touch on something here real quick, you guys. If you guys are looking to listen to our episode with Connor Ellis, driver the number 48 from the Oscar Hot Rods, you gotta wait a bit. The uh there was a scheduling error on my I know we just talked about this last night, so Megan's kind of tired of hearing this from me. I know, I guarantee it. She's like, this again. There
I
was a
know this
scheduling.
already.
Know this? Why are you talking about it? Because I'm telling the people who are listening to the show, okay? There was a scheduling error on my end, and uh I thought I had booked Connor for March 4th, not February 4th. I already had February figured out who was going to be on. This week we
Mhm.
have Jordan Fidler from the Pure Stocks and from Merrittville Speedway joining us tonight. Next week we're as far as I know still we have Stickers and Scuffs joining us. We'll have Cam K and Graydon Bunn joining us. Um I don't like I think we're supposed to actually have them next week. And I
I
gotta go
think
check the
so.
schedule because like next
So
week I'm like, oh, it's the Super Bowl next weekend. I got the kids. Like I'm like, I think I still may have to record a podcast.
I think you did have it that way. You had them next week, and then I think we were off the 19th, and then the 26th we
Yeah.
record again.
Yeah, we're gonna how do I don't know how I messed this up. Either way, we're gonna be going back into an every week rotation here in just a little bit. So I think what we're gonna do is because we got Stickers and Scuffs. I'm still trying to figure out because I don't want to wait to sit on this interview with Connor too long because it was a really good interview. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know about you, but we had a lot of fun. Uh,
Yeah.
Megan's still probably mad at me after bringing up some stuff. She she probably saw the invite for the show. So I was like, God damn it, Jon! I don't want to be on this after last night. You
No.
we're gonna leave that one as a little surprise for you guys when you guys hear it. You'll know when it comes up in the show. Um,
Yup.
Megan and I are definitely gonna have to talk about how we're gonna maybe that off week. What we'll do is we'll come in on the Sunday and we'll shoot the crap for that one. Uh and then just put in Connor's episode there. So maybe 2 week hold on his. Because I thought we were supposed to have a break. It was supposed to be every other week right now, and I just keep
Yeah.
I man when I set this up, I was not prepared at all. Like I didn't look at the schedule. I'm like, this is not smart of me right now. Clearly, soon enough, guys, we were gonna like think I'm supposed to have other guys lined up in like March, which I'm gonna have to go back through because we got some good guys lined up, and now I need to go make sure we have them lined up and
I
who we
thought of
got
another one
going
I
where.
wanted to ask.
What's that?
There's someone else that I thought of that I wanted to ask to come on, and I forget who was it.
If you want someone to come on, all you
Oh,
have to do is
wow.
invite them and then tell me, and then I will tell you an opening we have.
I was
I
gonna
send
message
you the
you about it.
schedule.
Oh my God. It's somebody that I have on Facebook, and I just
You gonna look that
who
up
the
right
heck?
now?
I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to like scroll through Facebook, see if their name pops up, but I can't for the life of me remember
I do think
who it
we're gonna
was.
have to get some TNT racing on here.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah and Nick, we'll have to get them on. Um, man, there's some good people out there. We need. I want to bring on Jared Fitzpatrick again because I do want to talk about his road car that he's got building.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I there's actually one guest I've been meaning to bring him on all off season. I want to get a hold of him before we go back racing because what I really love to do in the springtime is as much as I want to talk to the racers and find out more about them, I want to hear from the tracks.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if I can get a hold of John Carley. We're gonna get him on for an episode.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about Sobel. I want to get a hold of. Maybe we can see. Maybe we'll put it out there to all the tracks and see if anyone wants to come on, and we'll try and get a nice stretch in here just after around and just after Motorama
Mm-hmm.
and see if we can get them to come on and talk about their seasons because we got such a big buildup. We got 6 months. We have 6 months of off season.
Yeah.
Like we're about to go back racing, and I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, after watching the Clash today, whoo boy, that was some good racing. If anyone who was watching it, there was some beat banging crossovers. Who is it?
Um,
You just had it, didn't you?
I know exactly. I hate this because I know what his name is, but he uses a different name on Facebook. But he has the Talladega Nights replica cars
Ricky
at
Bobby?
Delaware. Yes. What's his real
Oh,
name though?
Joe Kicks.
Joe Kicks. That's his
Joe
name. I
Kicks,
would
and I
love
don't.
to talk to him.
All right, Joe, if you're listening, let's get you back on. Let's get you. We've already had him on before, eh?
Did it? What?
Yeah.
I wasn't here for that, was I?
No, 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 no.
I was gonna say I don't remember
That
that.
was before you, honey.
Wow.
No, hold up. Wait, is that regular Mountain Dew
Mm-mm.
or is that Mountain Dew Zero?
Baja Blast.
Oh, Baja Blast. Because guess what? In my Joe Media Cup, I got Mountain Dew Zero.
It's sad that neither of us are drinking Dr. Pepper though.
I know it's really, especially after what I just showed you.
Literally.
I'm not even gonna tell anyone right now what we got going on. But I can tell you this one thing: if we get this promotion deal, which I really hope, I talk to the people we can get this done. I got some cups coming, and they're so badass. I love them. But right now, I'm gonna quickly see if I can find it. Uh, do. I want episodes. Give me episodes. Yeah, because that was last year. Wolf. Was that the first year? Episode. Wow. we're at we're at 83, and that was 38.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Oh.
so there's your opportunity right there, Megan. But you know what? We'd love to get him back on. He was such a good chat, and maybe we can talk to him, see about getting his buddy to come on,
Yeah.
and we can shoot the crap, do Ricky Bobby quotes, and we'll have some fun with that.
Mm-hmm.
But we got some good people lined up. You know, we got some great things happening. We got the apparels coming together. We have Taylor to You looking like she might be able to do our t-shirts for us.
Nice.
And I don't know if she's listening. And if she's listening, Taylor, I'm so sorry. I I think I saw that she was going to start working on a tester shirt. And the tester shirt is going to be for my fat ass. And then she's also going to do 3 t-shirts for someone, which Megan knows exactly who it is for. Oh, it's for your sister.
was gonna say you say this a lot that I know something, and I'm like, you put a lot of faith into this little brain. Like,
To be fair, there's stuff I'm like, oh yeah, she should know. Like I figured because you guys all live together, you guys would talk about it. So I'm like, oh yeah, you know it. Apparently not. All right.
good.
Yeah, no, she messaged me about the shirts and she wants one of each design.
Oh, right. Yeah,
Yeah. So
I can
she's
see that.
I think Taylor's working on that right now. I'm gonna have to get her some sizing. So and we gotta figure out pricing still. I think we figured out pricing for the most part right now. I think so. So but once everything starts going, we're gonna be firing on all cylinders. We're gonna be having shirts in stock. I'm gonna be carrying them around with me. Um, we'll be able to do better giveaways.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, I'm excited. Uh, I I'm thinking I'm gonna talk to you after and see if we can pull this off and see if we can talk to a track and see about partnering with them. See what we can do.
All right.
We'll talk after.
Oh.
Um, I like how I'm just like throwing ideas out and just like, but you know, that's the fun part about us. I think we just like to, when we chat, we just like random nothingness comes to our mind.
Pretty much.
And then, yeah, we go off the rails. So, yeah, oh my goodness. So, I gotta tell you this because we're just waiting on Jordan right now to come on in, and actually, just as I say that, he's entered our waiting room. Have you ever had a bundt cake?
I've heard of that, but I
Okay,
don't know.
so today, first of all, I have felt like I've eaten nothing but cake all day.
Mm-hmm.
So this morning, uh, Jacqueline, myself, and her parents, we went to Sunset Grill for breakfast. I had a I had the pancakes.
Mm-hmm.
Not a fan of them today.
No.
The pancakes were okay, but like the chocolate chips seemed like they were burnt.
Ew.
So explain that logic to me. Like that was a weird logic. Like it was weird. Okay. So then after that, we went cake tasting for our wedding cake. I'm not gonna name the place because I don't want to bash or anything like that. But I can tell you this right now. I was not happy.
Mm,
Like you didn't taste the cake until like it went down your throat after you finished chewing.
that's weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Like
weird.
I'm tasting like I'm not I'm as you guys can tell, I'm not overly feeling the best still. And I'm sitting there like and like as it starts going down, like as soon as I'm swallowing, that is when the flavor hits. I'm like,
Hmm.
that shouldn't be happening. But yeah, it wasn't the best. And then we went to this bunt cake place, which by the way, oh oh my goodness, there's a possibility we may be doing bunt cakes for our wedding
All
or
right.
the buntinis. I think is what they're called, buntinis or buntlets. I don't know. Jack Jacqueline's gonna make fun of me either way. And so at dinner tonight, so keep in mind we had cake tasting, so I only had like a few bites. I didn't really have much all day besides like that. And then like at dinner time, we all tried the different types from bundt cakes. Nothing bundt cakes, or I don't know what the hell the store's called, but I can tell you it's really good. And yeah, at dinner time, I we had dinner, fabulous dinner, and then all of a sudden, Jacqueline just texted me saying, "I hear my name."
She just sent me a Snapchat video and I
It's probably her hearing her name being talked about on the show. I guarantee it. Or we'll open that once we get ready for to bring in Jordan here. But over dinner time, they're like, "Oh," I was like, I ate my chocolate chip bundt cake. I had a little bit of each, except for a couple others. And all of a sudden they're like, John, you want the confetti? John, you want my confetti? You want my confetti? They were like, everyone else was done. I'm like, this is why I'm fat while I'm scooping their leftovers onto my plates. I think Jacqueline's outside my door because she can hear the story. Jacqueline, knock twice if you can hear me. Okay, she may not be there. I don't know. That's just kind of weird. Anyways, I'm like, this is why I'm fat as I'm like scooping three different people's confettis, and they're like, John, which one's your favorite? I'm like, the chocolate chip. I was like, I only had the three. I'm like, which one's your least favorite? I'm like, the confetti.
Oh my God.
That's the one that they were putting on my plate. I'm like, why? I was like, I'm confetti out. Like I got to the last one. I was like, oh, it was not a good feeling.
Mm-mm.
All right. I think we let Jordan wait long enough in our waiting room here. Let's get Jordan on this week. This week's guest on the True North Racing Podcast is Jordan Fidler. All right, guys, joining us this week on the True North Racing Podcast is Jordan Fidler. Jordan, man, how are you?
Good, man. I'm very good. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. First of all, amazing setup. This has got to be the best setup we've ever seen on the show.
Hey, we got to keep it different, right? Got to keep things different here at Flatbroke Racing.
you before we brought you on air here, you thanked some guys. I want you to get them out of the way here. Tell them who helped you out here tonight to get you set up for this awesome.
Yeah, so that's a pretty cool setup we have here. Like I explained, if it wasn't for Nick and Jonas, I would be doing this in my living room. I wouldn't be sitting here in the shop with our car behind us. I got to thank my wife. She's at home, got a newborn baby. It's pretty hectic having those two right now. I got a 3-year-old and a three-week-old. So, I mean, things are pretty hectic. I mean, you got one jumping around, you got one that's laying on you. So it doesn't give you a whole lot of time to yourself. So for her to let me come out and do this and hang out with the boys and do a cool interview with you guys, I really appreciate her for letting me do this. I also stole her lights that she uses for doing lashes and stuff like that. So that's why the car looks pretty cool, because we got all kinds of lights on it. And then I got to thank my good buddy Josh Silvio at JSO Productions. He's got all the equipment here. He's brought his microphone, he's brought his soundboard, he's brought the headphones. He wanted to make sure this thing sounded good, so I got to thank him. But yeah, huge shout out to Nick and Jonas at Doc Jones Auto here for providing us this space and allowing us to do this and keeping all our cars here and working on them throughout the year. It's a huge deal, and I got a lot of people to thank when this thing's over. Over.
Absolutely, man. First of all, love the setup, love everything you guys are doing. How's your off season been going?
To be honest, I haven't done a thing. I put this car in an enclosed trailer, or actually it's at my garage, and then we just shoved it into the enclosed trailer so we could bring it down here. And other than that, I haven't done a damn thing, to be honest with you. My partner here at Flatbroke Racing, Nick, he's keeping busy. He's working on our 50K enduro ride, so he's pretty in depth with that. That's a pretty big investment for us right now, and he's always keeping busy. He never stops, that guy. He's pretty crazy. We got to get him on here for an interview because he's a pretty good guy.
Hey, tell him get a hold of me. We'll get him lined up here in the show.
100%.
Hopefully we're not crossing everyone up here again, eh, Megan?
That's just like Steve Shaw. We got to get him on here as well.
Yeah, you saw the message. I told him, like, hey, hit me up. Let's get you on here for an episode. That's awesome that you haven't done a damn thing except for bring the car down and put it on display. I love it. You reached out to me at the end of the 2022 season after I was like, hey, anyone looking for free promotions, hit me up. And you were one of the guys who hit us up here. First of all, thank you for hitting us up and joining us there for the tail end of the season. What'd you think of the promotion stuff that we put out for you?
I love it, man. I'm so happy to be a part of it. Anything I can do that kind of helps us get out there and helps anybody else get out there. Like our flat broke thing, it kind of started off small. It's only 2 years old and it's kind of taken off. It's growing. So to kind of meet someone kind of newer that's doing their own thing, it's kind of cool because it kind of works hand in hand. We can kind of help each other and help promote each other, man. So it's pretty cool to do that.
Absolutely. So first of all, so you just said it yourself, Flat Broke Racing started 2 years ago. How did it get started?
To be honest, so I've been racing for quite a few years, but I've always had this guy on my Facebook, Nick, and eventually at one time he's just told me, he's like, oh yeah, if you're ever down in Niagara Falls, to stop by the shop and come shoot the shit. So I was like, okay. So I told him, I'm like, I'm down in the falls. What are you doing? It's like, oh, at the shop, come stop by. So I stopped down here and we were just talking, and I was racing the V6 down there at Maryville at the time. So I told him, man, I'm like, gotta come check it out, because he was just doing enduros at the time. So I said, you come down there, come give me a hand. You're a good mechanic. Come give me a hand and see what you think. So he came down there, and ever since then, we just kicked it off, been apart ever since. After we ran some V6 races at the end of the year there, we had a bunch of enduro cars. He had a couple, I had a couple. We had a big team. We were like, man, let's just start a race team. We got so many cars. We got so much stuff we could do. Let's just start a race team. And ever since then, man, we're here.
That's awesome. So you said yourself, you've been racing for a few years in the V6 class. So how long have you been racing for then?
I want to say I've been at this for probably about 16 years off and on, to be honest. It's been
Okay.
it's been a long go. It's been interesting. Been through a couple different cars. We started off in street stock back when I was a kid. And then as I bought a house and moved out and did my own type of thing, I didn't have, unfortunately, parents' funds anymore to run higher divisions. So
Yeah.
it was time that if I wanted to do it on my own, I kind of had to go down a division and do things on my own and figure things out for myself. And that's where we dropped down to V6. Then we bought a mini stock. And then we always did the asphalt enduros at Flamborough there. And then I was like, you know what? This asphalt stuff's so cool. Like, coming from dirt, I'm like, this asphalt stuff, this is for me. I like this more than dirt. So then we built this bone stock with the Flat Broke group, and it's been awesome, man. I love it. It's been so much fun meeting so many cool people. Like, it's just such an awesome roller coaster. There's a lot of ups and downs, I'll tell you that, but it's been fun.
Speaking of ups and downs, I mean, you race over there at Delaware Speedway. That's an up and down track to begin with. So I mean, that kind of goes in hand. So out of all the tracks that you could have raced at, why pick Delaware?
Because it was the furthest away from us, to be honest. No, I'm kidding.
You know what? There's guys out there who would do that. I mean, like, it's the best way.
To be honest, man, just the size of the track. So when I got into it, I bought the Sentra here, and I was just like, well, I was going to run Flamborough, and then I met the Triple B crew, and what a crew they are, man. They're such awesome guys, good people. And that was kind of their home track, Delaware. So my good buddy there, Jordan Wilms, he got me to go down to Delaware and check them out, come check out their bone stock and check out their racing. So we went down to Delaware, and as soon as I seen that place, man, what an adrenaline rush just to see it, like how big that place is. Like, I don't know if you've ever been to Maryville or Humberstone, but these places are just tiny little tracks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Ashwegan's a decent sized dirt track, but like, come on, Delaware compared to like these little dirt tracks, it's like it's massive.
Oh yeah.
So see something on that platform, I was like, yeah, we're gonna be a part of this. So right then and there, I'm like, financial decision, terrible, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna make a memory with the boys, and we're gonna see what happens.
Megan, did you have something you wanted to add there?
No, I was just thinking, I was shocked because most people will say that they like the dirt better. So it's kind of cool to hear that.
I think
somebody likes the asphalt. Not a lot of people have a lot of nice things to say about it.
Yeah, they always get the dirts for racing and asphalts for getting you there type of comment, but they also got the asphalts are racing and dirts for potatoes. So I mean, you can always throw that out there. But you know what? I think it's honestly I just did dirt racing ever since I was such a young kid, pretty much my whole life, to get into asphalt and not have to bring a car home and wash it every time you race the thing. And having a family, getting older and having kids and stuff like that, so to free up any little bit of time I could, I really grasped that concept, and I really liked it because, like you said, you pretty much will put your car in the trailer and go over it a little bit. Don't have to wash it kind of quite to the extent you do a dirt car.
Mm-hmm.
That is for sure. So to put into perspective for everyone, how far of it is it of a drive for you to go from where you're home to Delaware?
Oh yeah, so
it sounds like it's a trek each week, and I gotta see if it's further than what I used to do.
So yeah, it's quite a trek. So me personally, I live in Port Colborne, so I'm like right against the water. So I'm like pretty much the furthest point out there. We got, like I said, my partner Nick, he's down here in Niagara Falls, and we got the shop down here. So usually I'd keep the car either here at my house, but regardless, I'd have to come down here, pick up our tools, all our equipment. So I got about a half hour from Port Colborne to here, and then from here to there, I got about 2.5 hours. So in total, I got about 3 hour drive one way. So okay, yeah, go ahead.
You beat me.
Oh yeah, it's a haul, man. We're usually, like, I try to leave my house 11:30, 12 o'clock. Try to leave our shop around 1, get there for hopefully 4 o'clock ish when the gates are opening, 4:30. By the time the night's done, we're home at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. By the time I get home, I'm rolling in at like 4. It's some late nights.
Now the worst part is when you have when you're done, you get home at 4 o'clock, and you got to go racing the next day in that same car you just finished the night before in.
Yeah, it's tough. It's not
Oh,
easy,
yeah.
man. But you know what? You're young. You gotta do what you can, man. Go out there, have fun. We got awesome sponsors behind us. We got such a good group of people. One person I really have to give a huge shout out to is my wife. I mean, man, she puts up with so much. Like when I was racing Delaware, I'd be gone Friday and Saturday because by the time you get home 4 o'clock in the morning, you're gonna sleep half a Saturday away. You know what I mean? And like I got young kids, like I said, I got a 2 week old, and then I got a 3-year-old. So for her to watch those kids and let me come down and do this, go to Delaware and race. I mean, I was taking all Friday off, all Saturday off. So I mean, kind of took a lot from her family, but she was always really good with it. But yeah, the V6s on Saturday nights kept us busy, and then Delaware Friday nights, thrown in with all the other enduros and other races you could do around here, man. It kept us really busy. But yeah, the drive to Delaware was extremely killer for us. And that's exactly when the gas prices went up too. Like right when the season was about to open, gas prices started shooting. And another person, honestly, John, I have to give a huge shout out to for this is my mother-in-law Tammy. So I got a big diesel truck. Right before the season started, I ordered a whack of parts, and then COVID hit and all this crap hit. All these parts I ordered for my truck were supposed to be here in 2 weeks. They took 6 to 7 months. So the whole season I didn't have a truck. My mother-in-law gave me her brand new Dodge Ram to tow all the way down to Delaware.
Wow. That's
so huge shout out to her.
You said that was your mother-in-law?
That's my mother-in-law, yeah.
Give a round of applause to her. Jesus,
and the worst thing is we put a big stone chip in her windshield.
Oh no.
Yeah, there was a pretty big stone chip in her windshield. So I'm sorry, Tammy, but can't thank you enough because it wasn't for you, we probably wouldn't have had that season at Delaware.
Man, that's just
yeah. We put a lot of kilometers on her truck.
Oh, I can imagine.
We used it for Flamborough, Delaware. We used it for everywhere we went, pretty much. So that's pretty cool for us to do that. Like, couldn't ask for a better mother-in-law, honestly. Very cool.
Absolutely. Yeah, we I can sympathize with you as when I was in high school. Well, we're going 14 years ago now. I used to crew for a guy named David Elliott who ran late models down at Flamborough to start with. Then we went to Delaware for a couple seasons, and those days, man, I would get picked up from my high school because I went to school in a different town from where my stepdad was coming in because he was he would drive the truck and car down from Erin, Ontario, which is up at Orangeville, and he would come. Him and my brother would pick me up in Guelph, and then we'd head on down. So I get picked up at 2 o'clock in Guelph. Like you said, get down to the Speedway for 4 o'clock when gates open.
Yep.
Get by the time, and then especially once you have the spectator drags, like though when you're stuck on I love Delaware because you get to be on the inside of the track, and that's my favorite part to be in.
Cool. It's very cool.
It's such a cool feeling. But when you have the spectator drags and you get 35, 40 plus cars,
it's a long night.
As a long night, and by the time you're done, you're loaded. You're just like, I want to get out of here. But at the same time, like those spectator drags down there, they put on a different show.
Yeah, they do.
They
do. Yeah.
There's a reason if you look up Delaware Speedway spectator drags or King of the Hill, you get some interesting videos.
Oh yeah, you get a little bit of everything too. It's cool. It's
yeah,
man, you never know what you're gonna see out there.
Oh, I find between Delaware and Flamborough, you get the most unique cars. I find Delaware, you get the high performance stuff versus the sleeper shit boxes.
Yeah, 100%.
Whereas at Flamborough, you get like a hearse versus a minibus.
Yeah, it's like the random stuff they pull out of the weeds.
Exactly. But like Delaware puts on some of the best spectator drags, I think, in all of the country. So anyone can find me on that one, and I will fight to the death on that one. That is for certain. We're already going off the rails.
Yeah, hey, that's
and
cool,
I love this because I feel like we're missing so much.
That's me, man. I just kind of go with the flow, and that's it.
Honestly, man, if you listen, you said you listen to the show enough. You know damn well that between Megan and myself, you never know what's going to come out of our mouths.
Yeah, it's just open, man. That's the best thing. It's not really like filtered, which I like.
Like it's kind of try to keep ourselves pretty clean.
And the thing I like, it's not really like I'm not trying to put you down, but it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of editing. Like you just kind of
no.
You just kind of shoot it. You put your intro and stuff on it and put it up. So you kind of get like a raw version of it, which
But
is
that's
cool.
what I'd rather see.
Yeah, 100%.
I'd rather see people be
Yep.
raw about stuff than hide stuff.
Yeah, exactly, man. That's why I kind of like being on your type of podcast, because like I said, I don't want to be all dolled up and prettied up when this face ain't so pretty.
Meanwhile, I'm wearing one of my nicest shirts possible tonight.
I got a flat broke shirt underneath here to represent, but it's a little chilly in the shop, so I had to wear a hoodie.
No worries.
Okay, I got the car at least.
Exactly. That's all that matters. It's great having the car in the background. That's for certain.
She looks good. We got to take her to Motorama pretty soon, but looks not.
You guys are gonna be at Motorama?
Yeah, we're gonna be there. Gonna touch up a little bit of paint. Maybe get her. Hopefully get some Jomo stickers so that we can slap on her.
Yeah, there's a possibility we could. I got someone going down to Motorama who you might be able to go stop by and see.
Well,
so
a couple stickers. Let's get them on.
Absolutely. Maybe we'll have to. Megan, you down for a visit to Motorama for a day?
Yeah.
I may already have to be there for 2 days.
Yeah, 100%. We got to link up then.
Yeah, I'll bring the GoPros down. I'll bring one of the GoPros.
Let's do it.
And then here's the thing. This is gonna be the fun part because I'm gonna put Megan on the spot here.
Oh.
And Megan, you're gonna be the host. You're gonna interview everyone that we talk to.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm gonna be the cameraman.
Oh God.
Let's go. Let's do it.
What do you say?
I better see you guys walking around with a camera. If I don't, I'm gonna be very, very disappointed.
I'll bring one because I already got to shoot footage for Sauble Speedway and the Canadian Vintage Modifieds.
So you're gonna be busy.
I'm gonna be busy, but that doesn't mean I can't go and have some fun.
Well, as long as I get to see you for a couple stickers or decals or whatever you want to call them. Some people
absolutely.
Are like, it's not a sticker, it's a decal. Well, call what you will.
It's both.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
both.
As long as we get some on the car back here, let's do it. I'm holding you to it. I better see a couple stickers.
Oh, you will. I got to talk to my friend Taylor to see what, because our good friend Taylor to you is going to be down there. She's going to be carrying some of our Joe Media merch and apparel. So
perfect.
We'll have some. I think I got to talk to her before we make that announcement to say that, like, hey, if you want to pick up stuff, go see her. Meanwhile, she shows up, she's got one of each.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that would be terrible. But yes, we're gonna have to hook you up with some stickers at Motorama. Should have a bunch of them, I think, that weekend.
Perfect.
Like I said, we're gonna get back on track here.
Yeah.
I know these are so much fun. We want to learn more about you. We want to learn more about you got involved in racing. So you said with yourself, you got started back in street stocks. Where did you race when you first started?
So how the whole program started here, honestly, I can remember it quite well. It's downstairs in my parents' bedroom. My dad came running down the stairs to open my door and said, "What do you want to do?" I was like, "What do you mean? What do I want to do?" He's like, "What do you want to do?" He's like, "You're not sitting in my basement playing video games." He's like, "You want to start racing? What do you want to do?" He's like, "You're getting out and doing something." I was like, "Oh." He's like, "If you want to race, we'll go look at a car." So I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, let's go racing." So didn't take him long to get on Kijiji there and find an old Monte Carlo. And sure enough, went down to St. Catharines and looked at it. I was 13, 14 at the time. My dad's bullshitting this guy. Yeah, my son here is getting his driver's license and he's going to fix it up and put it on the road because the car was pretty clean and it was an older gentleman that had it. So if my dad told this guy we're going to take it and make it into a race car, he probably wouldn't have sold it to us. So, yeah, my dad lined this car up, got it home literally the next day. We had the thing stripped. Todd Gordon came, picked it up, put a roll cage in it, did that there for the year or two. Got the street stock built. We raced street stock off and on. Honestly, I had the worst luck. When so I started right when crate motors started becoming a thing. We started with an open motor that a family friend built, blew that up within a couple races. So then we're like, well, let's get a crate motor. Needless to say, I'm not going to go too much into detail, but let's just say we went through 4 or 5 crate motors.
In a season?
No.
Oh, thank God.
No. My luck wasn't that bad, but it was still pretty bad. I'm gonna say,
I thought there was one season. I'm like, oh my God.
No, I'm gonna say through a period of like probably 4 to 5 years. So probably a motor per year at least. So still not a very good record, but
that's not a good ratio at all.
So yeah, that whole deal happened there. But we had a wicked time in street stock, man. That class was so much fun. But frick, price of stuff for street stock now, it is insane. Like,
oh yeah.
I'm happy I'm not in that boat anymore. These bone stocks, we get enough money into these things, let alone the street stocks. So yeah, we did the street stock deal there, and then like I said, I kind of bought a house and didn't have the family funds anymore to do the expensive classes. So we looked into cheaper options like the mini stocks and getting into the enduros and doing all that kind of fun stuff. So we ran ran some V6 races there in the V6 class. Did that for a couple years and ran some enduros. We ran the Flamborough Halloween Enduro a couple years. And the first time I did that, I was like, man, this asphalt stuff, it is so cool. Like when you go into the corner and like you're hanging on, like it throws you and like you just feel the grip, the way the car handles, like everything is completely different than dirt. Like racing's racing, it's still fun and all, but man, asphalt to me, it was where to go. So as soon as that happened and I did the whole enduro there at Flamborough, I decided we needed a bone stock. So that's where we came up with this. I bought this car probably 4 or 5 years ago. It's been kind of sitting around. We built it last year here at this exact shop. We did the cage at our good buddy Rick Beals at Rem Motorsports. He did the cage for us. So shout out to Rick. Thanks for making this car pretty badass. It's pretty safe. Everybody, when we pulled up to Delaware, they're like, holy shit, look at this guy's cage. Like, we got more bars and more steel in this car than I think 3 of those cars over there combined. So this is a pretty safely built car. If I had a portable camera, I'd give you guys a quick tour of her, but yeah, it's a pretty well built car. So shout out to Rick for that. And yeah, Nick went through this thing with a very, very fine tooth comb there and worked out all the bugs, got everything fixed, threw a whole lot of money at it. And here we are today racing bone stocks, trying to figure out this asphalt stuff. It's been a learning curve.
Absolutely. It usually is a learning curve. I find, like, regardless of what discipline you run in, everyone says asphalt, just, pedal down, turn left. No, it's not that simple, is it?
Asphalt, you got to do a lot more homework on, that's for sure. Everybody, dirt, you're waiting for a guy to slip up in a corner, make a big mistake. Asphalt, you're just waiting just for that little tiny hiccup where you can slide in there, but it doesn't happen too often on the asphalt stuff.
Especially at a big track like Delaware.
Oh my God, yeah. The only thing that sucks about Delaware though is when you wreck, you
wreck hard.
Yeah, you pretty much almost write your car off.
Especially the front stretch.
Yeah, we last year there we had a car rolling literally right in front of us. We got some Facebook videos there, and
what was that, the 16 car?
No, that was the Starrett car. I believe it was number
yes.
Yeah, that happened right in front of us. I actually had camera on that was on some sunglasses. So I literally had like an in-person view there, and like the car was literally there. So I swerved to miss it, and as soon as I missed it, right into the wall, and wrote off the whole front end of this exact car. But she looks good. The boys did a good job.
Absolutely. I remember seeing that wreck. I think I've seen the footage from your point of view.
Yeah, I had a couple of GoPros, and then like I said, I had the goggles there with the camera on the lens there.
Megan, I think you need to find out where those goggles come from and get those when you start wearing those.
Does it have audio?
Yes, it does.
You don't want to hear what I say.
I do.
You just got to be good at editing videos, I found, because in mine there's a couple swear words that I had to kind of, we'll get rid of that.
Viewer discretion is advised.
That's right. He's got to put 18 years old or whatever the age limit is, I guess.
Hey, I already had to do that to a podcast before, so I mean it's easy doable.
No way. So funny.
Yeah, for Cam Thompson. On episode 68, I had to put an R rating. I had to make sure like we swore so much.
Oh, see, that's why I wasn't sure if I was like, I'm gonna keep this really clean as possible because like I don't want to mess up this podcast for getting listed or anything like that.
Honestly, couldn't be worse than anything that's happened before. But swearing, we're pretty comfortable with swearing. It's just if it gets too much, then we just like R rated. If it's like 1 or 2 here and there, we're like, oh, that's not too bad. I can let those slip.
Yeah, no.
But if it's like 50 to 75, like it was between me and Cam, I'm gonna put a rating on that just because I don't want a little kid who's like under 17 listening to that, and then all of a sudden like, mommy, F, S and all this other stuff. I'm like, I don't need to hear that.
Yeah, it's less drama for you, right?
Exactly.
Things swing. Well, I don't know if you can hear that, but now we got the air compressor kicking off in the shop here.
We can hear that.
See, like I told you, the boss man here, Nick, work never ends. He's still at her.
Hey, got to get after that, especially like you said yourself. You guys are going after that $50,000 at Flamborough.
Oh yeah, man. We're the enduro car we have this year. It's gonna be one hell of a piece. Let me tell you this. This guy has this motor ripped down to every nut and bolt. It's gonna be an investment, but we win that $50K. It's totally worth it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Here's the thing. Is this the fact that you guys? We're what? The Enduro's happening in September. We're 8 months out, and you guys are already working on the car.
Man, he's been working on this Enduro car since the Delaware season stopped. Once the Delaware season, so this guy literally, he's an addict. He if I leave him with a car, he'll just keep on working on it. He'll just, if it doesn't need anything done to it, he'll just keep on working on it and figuring something out. So eventually, once I pulled this car back home and he didn't have anything to work on, I dropped him that car, and yeah, it wasn't long after he had the motor out of it, and he was tearing it apart, and yeah, now it's in 3 million pieces, and yeah, it's pretty interesting. The work this guy does, man, it's pretty incredible.
You know what? I love seeing a guy care about his work that much, that he's willing to take every nut and bolt apart.
This guy is so dedicated.
It's like, awesome.
It's honestly like, so the first time I really realized that this guy was like really dedicated and kind of like in tune with his stuff is when we ran our first Enduro there, when we first started Flat Broke. Pulled the Enduro car in, he pulls the rad cap off and he's testing the rad cap. I was like, what are you doing? It's like, I'm testing the rad cap. He's like, you can't send the car out there with a bad rad cap. I was like, are you kidding me? This is an Enduro car. What are you doing? He's like, I test everything. He like literally goes over, like, when I say he goes over these cars with a fine tooth brush, it literally, like, it's incredible. Like, I can't ask for a better mechanic at Flat Broke here. Like, crazy.
I think the best part is we got a comment or a question later on. I think that involves the mechanic. So you know which question we're talking about.
Maybe when we kick things off here and before we head out, maybe I can switch this mic over and headset to him, and he can answer that question himself.
Absolutely.
He's right here. Get to that. I got my audio guy, like I said, Josh, sitting over here. I got my mechanic and partner at Flat Broke here, Nick. They're just kind of sitting here, just hanging out, watching me chit chat to you guys.
But before we get out of here, before we let you go, we're gonna have to get those guys into the shot as well.
100%. They deserve this just as much as I do, man. Without them, none of this is possible, honestly.
Absolutely. So I know we keep going like off the rails. I'm trying to bring us back on rails, but like,
that's probably my bad. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. Hey, you know what? These are the best conversations to have, is when they are so random, because I find we learn more about you. And that's the whole point of this show, is to learn more about the people behind the helmets and behind the fire suits and the guys and gals who get to the racetrack and race and may not get a chance to talk to the announcer or anything like that. It gives everyone a chance to really get out here and talk, and that's the best part. And I followed you guys, I think, since probably the beginning of Flat Broke Racing, and I've loved what you guys have done. But these conversations, these are the fun ones to have, because, and like I said before, I'm like, this is gonna be one of the best interviews ever, and it already is. This is gonna be one of the best ones.
I'm happy to be here, man. Like I said, when I messaged you there a little while back, and I'm like, is there a time limit on these calls? Because like sometimes I get really chatty and I can talk, man. Like I'm a pretty comfortable person. I like to talk. Just have at her, man. I love to talk, man. Happy to be here. I'm happy that you thanks for your support for Flat Broke, man. It's pretty cool. I like it.
You guys have those keychains, right?
We got keychains. We got we're gonna do a whole new merch thing, man. Come this summer, hopefully we'll have some merch, and we're gonna hook you up with some stuff.
Hell yeah.
100%. 100%, man.
Dude, I love supporting local racers, because I know Megan. I think Megan, you're wearing a Scott Tinley shirt, are you not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, I'm pretty sure I talked to you about getting a Flat Broke Racing sticker for my truck, and then I don't think we ever got the chance to meet up. So
that's the only thing. I'm kind of like an outsider, right? Like everybody down there is kind of local, and like we're just down here in Port Colborne, Niagara Falls, and it's like everybody I talk to, everybody that does asphalt, like the closest track to us is Flamborough, and that's still an hour and 15 out. So I mean, there's nothing really too local. So like I'm kind of like an outsider, so I'm just kind of like working my way in, meeting all these asphalt people. So like I said, man, it's really cool to do this with you guys. I really appreciate it.
Honestly, with how much I go down to Niagara, like me and my fiance, we drive down to Niagara, at least I feel like once every like month and a half sometimes. Like Megan, you hear and see it all the time. Like we're down there so much. and like I'm going down there in 2 weeks. So I'm thinking, Megan, if you want to, we'll pick you up on the way. And maybe we gotta go shoot something over with Jay Pepin with the CVM. And maybe if we got some time, we'll head on over to Port Colborne and go see Jordan. If you're down with that.
Well, you're gonna be in Niagara Falls?
I think that's where Jay is, down in Niagara Falls area.
Come to the shop right here in Niagara Falls, man. This is right downtown. You can't get really too much. This is probably one of the closest shops to Niagara Falls, I would say. It's pretty downtown, man. We're right down here, right off Lundy's
Oh.
Lane, all the busy stuff. So I mean,
Ooh, right down my favorite area.
oh yeah, we're right down where it gets interesting.
Where doesn't it get interesting in Niagara Falls is more of the question.
I don't know, man. It even dribbles off into Port Colborne and Welland and all the smaller towns. So I mean, Niagara's a different animal down here. I'll say that.
I can fully attest to that. My fiance Jacqueline, that's where she went to school, was down in Welland. She went to Niagara College there.
Oh no way, no kidding.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
cool.
so like I'm very well aware of the area. I would say I grew up there, but that's false. I've just been there a shit ton. Uh but yeah, honestly, you're right though. Like Niagara's a different animal.
Oh yeah, it's completely different, man. The people down here and just everything, man. It's different, different.
But I still think Megan will have to pick you up or something, and you and Garrison need to come down and join us for the day.
Yes, if you guys can, if you guys got some spare time, even to shoot by here for 5-10 minutes, come check out the shop. There's not a whole lot of cars here. We got some, but we got cars scattered everywhere, man. But
I'll have the GoPros.
I was gonna say maybe we can shoot some footage or something like that.
That was really sassy, man. I'm sorry, man. I looked at what I did. I'm like, I got the GoPros. Oh my goodness. Yeah, if we're supposed to go down there, I think I gotta make sure we confirm everything. But yeah, I think we're gonna go down to Niagara Falls area, to one of our drivers to go shoot some footage with him. So maybe we'll make a stop by and then maybe head over to Merrittville and go get some pizza.
Excuse me, very good pizza over there.
Yes, they do.
They even got the smoke. They got the smokehouse now there, but that's shut down for the season.
No,
Pretty good. Yeah. I will give it, man. Don Spieth has changed that place around. That place is, I mean, when Pete had it, it was still a nice track, but man, did Don ever step that place up? Like, beautiful facility now, man. Like, it's something to actually be proud of.
Oh man, I love going there.
It's like the same thing with even Humberstone, man. Humberstone, what a complete different track now. They put those billboards up front, cleaned it up. Looks more appealing now, right? Cool.
Oh yeah,
cool to see.
It's funny. I didn't get to make it down there for a race at Humberstone or Merrittville this past year, but with what I'm planning on doing this year, might give me free up some time to even head down there for a race down in Merrittville and Humberstone, because honestly, those are some. I love Ohsweken. I really do. I love Ohsweken. I love the racing it puts on. But I don't know what it is about Merrittville and Humberstone. Maybe it's the uniqueness of both tracks, but they both have their own right to host really great events there.
100%, man. Merrittville gets really, their surface there is really smooth and very, very tacky at times. So it puts on for some very good racing. And it's an odd shaped track, right? It's a D shape. So some people can handle it, some people can't. So it makes for some interesting nights.
It does it ever. Like it's like I said, it's so much fun to watch.
You gotta make sure you can come down to Merrittville next year for Wreckfest when they get that going.
Yes.
You gotta come watch some redneck stuff. It's pretty fun. We're gonna have every year for those enduros down here. Like that's what we're still pretty big into, because that's kind of what's local to us. But we always bring out 5 or 6 cars for those, and usually a minivan or something crazy to smash up. So it's good to have some redneck stuff going on with the long.
Absolutely.
Right? Good way to blow off some steam.
Honestly, like I didn't hear about Wreckfest until I think 2021.
No
and I think so. Yeah, I think it was about 2020. I know. But to be fair, in my defense, I wasn't really much into the dirt stuff or like anything outside the asphalt world until 2020.
So you're kind of new to the whole dirt world.
I am very new to the dirt. I watched a lot of Ohsweken stuff because of G-Force and their production they had in 2019. Awesome, that was my first ever trip to a dirt track, was Ohsweken in August of 2019. I think end of July, beginning of August of 2019. And then I started watching more and more and dirt stuff and got into it more. I'm like, man, this is actually really cool. And then 2021, Jack and I never got to go to Ohsweken because Ohsweken was still closed that year. But we ended up making a trip down to Merrittville in September, I think it was. And she loved it. She absolutely loved it. I think I want to say that was a weekend. We went from Merrittville on a Friday night to Southern Ontario Motor Speedway on Saturday night. I think that was the weekend we did that. But honestly, we love the dirt stuff. She loves sitting over in turn 4 at Merrittville, especially when the sprint cars are there, because she can get hit in the face with dirt. And that's her favorite thing. She's like, I just want to get hit in the face with dirt. I'm like, that's just a really weird thing to say at the racetrack. But I mean, at the same time, I completely get it.
Yeah, living the experience, man. It's like getting the dust and all the other crap in your popcorn when you're eating it. You're not at the dirt
Exactly.
races if you're not eating dirt.
Exactly. That's why you see people walk in with like ski goggles and stuff.
Oh yeah, you see all people. Man, the stuff I've seen people wear over the years trying to protect their eyes has been pretty funny. Been entertaining.
Absolutely. I think next time we're gonna make sure we do bring some yellow safety glasses.
Yeah, 100%, man. You definitely need something, especially if you're at Merrittville. It gets a little bit dusty when the modifieds roll out.
Oh yeah. Because I think the modifieds were there when I went. But yeah, then I ended up going to 3 dirt tracks in 2021. And then I think I hit up Oshwegan twice last year.
So it seems like you're enjoying the dirt stuff.
I love the dirt stuff. I'm not going to say I love it more than asphalt, but I appreciate it much more than I used to. That is for certain. Because I was like, oh, dirt's just for idiots who can't control their cars and drive weird. Like in my mind, like I had a really good reason why to. But like all of a sudden it's like now I'm thinking, I'm like, no, to actually control these cars, yes, because you got to control them a weird way. But you're out of control to be in control.
100%.
Whereas asphalt, you're more in control of your own destiny.
100%, man. Yep.
Right? It's such a different animal, and I respect it. Now, the only one I'll never, ever, 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 ever put the same respect on is F1 or IndyCar. I'm sorry. I love them in their own rights, but they're too much of a video game in how they control those cars.
Yeah, I agree, man. I'm not really into it either.
Circles. I want the driver's ability to be in the hands of the drivers.
Yeah.
No ifs, ands, or buts. If you mess up, I don't want it because of a little button told you to push it.
100%.
Could you imagine that interview? Just be the guy go, what happened out there? Voice in my head just told me to hit the red button, and it shot me right into Lando Norris. And
that's all she wrote.
Whereas, we hear the dirt stuff or even the asphalt stuff. What happened out there? Going into turn 1, I just got a little loose and got underneath him, got into him, rubbed him up their track, and then we just both went for a ride.
Yep. Own up to it.
Now, to be fair, we do hear a lot of people just flat out lie about what happened, but
there's always excuses. But...
there's always excuses until you had a couple beers and got a chance to look at the replay.
Exactly. It's always someone else's fault.
It's always someone else's fault till you see the replay.
That's right. And until you see the GoPro footage and you're like, oh, maybe that was my fault.
Exactly. So anyways, like I said, we go off the rails, but this is so much fun. I'm having a lot of fun.
Me too, man. This is awesome.
So your 2022 season, how did it go for you?
To be honest, man, it was very interesting to say the least. To make it to Delaware after a 3-hour round trip just to get to the track and make it there without having truck issues, trailer issues, anything. That was half the battle, man, honestly. So to get there like that was pretty cool. But yeah, we did good, man. We had fun, did a lot of interesting things, learned a lot, especially going on the asphalt. Definitely learned a lot. That's for sure. It was a learning curve. Kept my mechanic here, Nick, very busy with the tires and everything like that. But yeah, it was a very cool time, man. Very cool experience. And then throwing in a little bit of dirt stuff we did in there, like it kept us on our toes with keeping up with the dirt stuff, the asphalt stuff. But yeah, you know what? I can't complain about our season, man. It was really good. We had a lot of help, a lot of support, had a lot of people come together with Flat Broke being so new. It was, we're still kind of building, still kind of coming together. So to kind of get everything still coming in place, I can't complain, man. I'm very grateful for everything we have.
That's awesome to hear. I want to get into this segment of our show because it's always one of my favorite ones. I think this is going to provide some great conversations.
Oh boy, here we go.
We are going to get into our fan question period. As you saw earlier today, we put out there on social media that you were coming on the show tonight, and we got some questions for you. You ready to answer them?
Let's do it.
All right, Megan, take it away.
Okay. Calvin Reeser asked, "Where do you find race rims for your cars?" Asking for a friend.
Honestly, so we got him from McCall Racing. Mike and all those guys down there. Awesome group of people at McColl's Racing down there. Honestly, they hooked us up with some Bassett wheels. I believe these are over here on the car, and unfortunately, we've had to order more of the rims than we wanted to after we crashed and wrecked and had some difficulties there. We had to order quite a few of them, so we hopefully get a sponsor through Bassett next year or this year because we could really use it. So McCall Racing would be the answer to that question.
Adam Nichols asked, "How many hours of travel does it take for you to compete in this series at Delaware?"
3 hours there, and then the race time is not very long. I'd say our races are probably done in like, well, depends how many red flags and stuff you have and how many yellows and how people drive, but it could be anywhere from probably about say 10 minutes till 15 minutes till an hour if you want to get crazy and have lots of accidents.
Okay, I feel like I'm gonna mess up this last name. Is it Riley James Heaton or Hedden?
That's my buddy Riley Hedden.
Okay. I heard you have connections in NASCAR. Can you go into depth on the situation?
So that would be my good buddy Riley there. He's part of a whole NASCAR Pinty's crew there. So he's the connection to NASCAR there. Hopefully he hooks us up with some good info for when we maybe move up and go to like a pro late model or something in the future. He'll come in handy.
Chris Lawrence said, "Are you guys coming back to Delaware? And when is the mechanic going to race?"
So, like I said, I'll answer the first part of that question. Unfortunately, we're not going to do a full-time Delaware season just because the haul up there, it's a lot on us, a lot financially. So we're just going to show up for some races, a couple big events maybe, and I'll get the mechanic on here and he can answer that question before we get off.
All right. Oh, I've never known how to say his last name. Nathan
Detweiler?
Detweiler? How different is the feel of the car going from asphalt to dirt?
It's definitely a lot different. Like John said there earlier, the whole control thing is the biggest factor there. Like front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, rear wheel drive. But when you're going in there with a front wheel drive car, the car's going to push. When you go in there with a rear wheel drive car, depending on how it's set up, it's going to be tight or loose, and you're going to have a little bit more sway. So I mean, grip's the biggest thing there, right? I mean, it's kind of common sense, but yeah, I would say that's definitely the biggest thing. It's just how the cars handle, they react. Tire pressures was a huge thing for us, going from dirt, running no tubes, running very, very low air pressures. We learned that doesn't work the greatest on asphalt. You got to bump them up and run a little bit higher. So definitely a big learning curve. But yeah, the cars handle completely different. Like the whole thing is completely opposite.
Mm-hmm. Emerson Smith asked, "Do you drive in the same slides you cut grass in, or do you have a second set just for the car?"
Depends. Depends if I pack an extra pair of shoes or not. Most of the time, I just wear the same old shit kickers and give her.
And William _ Trillium asked 2 questions. He said, "What track would you like to go to that you haven't yet?"
I'd like to say Jukasa, but I don't know if that'll ever happen.
That's still a great answer, though.
Oh man, I would love to go there. Like if we could have a big bone stock race there, like how cool would that be? Have like there'd at least be 50 or 60 cars that show up there. For Chris and Joe Lawrence, those guys would bring at least 15 cars of those guys. Like pretty cool what those guys do for the whole bone stock class at Delaware. They provided a lot of cars, and I mean, when we wheeled up to Delaware that first night there, that was so scary because like we just drove 3 hours and we might not even make the feature here because there's so many damn cars. Like this is crazy. But to answer that question, sorry, I got a little off. See, I go off track like all the time. I just kind of go with the flow. But right. I think we're gonna go down to Peterborough this year, so I think that's a track I'd like to kind of check out. Looks pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
When you're there, you're gonna have to go check out our good buddy Brandon Feeney.
Yeah. I've talked to him a little bit there, but definitely would like to meet him in person. He seems like a very cool guy.
Oh, see ever. And you're going to Motorama, he'll be at Motorama. Go see his ass. Because trust me, he'll or as far as I know, I think he might still be I think he might be there. So if he's there, go see him, stop and say hi to him.
Yeah, 100%.
Dude's a freaking riot. Like the ideas him and I have come up with, like for random stuff. He wants to do a cooking with Jomo show.
I love it. I'm totally gonna do it.
But we got to use Megan's kitchen now
Yeah,
because you got a big enough kitchen. We can actually do this in,
we
Do
could.
it.
and we can feed everyone at the house. So
Yeah. There you go.
there we go. Now we got a Christmas episode lined up.
All right, and the
Your
last
parents
one.
won't mind.
Oh God, no. They really wouldn't. That's the best part. So the last one is also from William_Trillium. He said, "What are your goals in racing?"
Just to make every lap, see a checker flag, whether I hold it in my hand or I just finish the race. I just want to finish the race with my car in one piece and as little work as I can do. Because, like I said, having a family eats up a lot of time, and I try not to take up as much time as I can from them. So if I can load the car on the trailer and not have to spend hours pulling out dents and fixing stuff, that's a win for me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's always a good time when you don't have to fix too much on the car.
Oh man, it sucks, especially after when we had that big wreck there. Like we spent, luckily, I got a horseshoe up my ass sometimes, man. When I go to the casino, I don't have any luck at all. Like honestly, gambling, scratch tickets, don't even
Yep.
bother because my luck's terrible. When it comes to racing, man, when things go bad, I do get pretty lucky because when we did have that wreck, luckily we were off the following weekend, so we did have a little break there. We had 2 weeks to get our car fixed. So, I mean, I did kind of get a little lucky, but still sucked.
Mm-hmm.
All right, why don't we get the mechanic on here to answer that last question so we can wrap up our fan question period.
Hey Nick, come here.
Hey Nick, how's it going?
Good evening.
Well, welcome to the True North Racing Podcast, man.
Hey, thanks for having us.
No problem. We got a question for you. You ready to answer it?
Sure, shoot.
All right, Megan.
All right. So Chris Lawrence wants to know, when is the mechanic going to race?
I had this car out a couple times, not for a race, but I've been tied up with keeping these things maintained on top of a busy work schedule. We're just a two-man shop here in Niagara Falls, so there's no sick days. Essentially, other than that, I did get into racing a bit before with the enduros, nothing competitive, and then that's kind of how I met Jordan, was through the dirt racing enduros.
Well, that's actually pretty good then, because like at least we know. Because I think Chris wants to go up against you and race you. I think that's what it is.
Well, maybe we got another car in the build right now. Actually, Rick Beals at Red Motorsports has our '08 Cobalt. It's a 5-speed, so we're putting that thing together for another weapon out on the track this year.
There we go. So that'll be fun.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's in the right hand, so that thing's just about getting ready to get started.
That's awesome. All right, Nick, Jordan already brought it up. We're gonna have to get you on the show for your own episode one time.
Yeah, for sure. Let us know. We'll set something up.
All right, sounds good. If you want to pass it back to Jordan, we'll get it all
Sounds
wrapped
great.
up here.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nick.
You're welcome.
All right, guys, that was our fan question period while we're changing over drivers again. That was our fan question period. We want to thank everyone for submitting their questions in this week. And we want to thank Jordan and Nick for answering the questions. Make sure you guys tune in every weekend, every Sunday, every other Sunday. I don't know what the heck's going on with their schedule right now. That's on me to find out who's going to join us that week on the show and submit your questions in. Jordan, man, it's definitely been a pleasure having you. We're gonna get you out of here pretty soon here. You kind of already talked about it a little bit, but we want to dive in a little bit more. You said it yourself, you guys are gonna go back to Delaware for a few races this year. The trek back and forth is a killer. We can all attest to that. So what are your plans for 2023?
2023, I think me and my partner Nick here, we both discussed it a little bit, and I think we're gonna come invade Megan's territory down there and run Flamborough for the season. There's not a whole lot of bone stocks down there, so we're gonna see if we can hopefully get or not bone stocks, sorry, centers. I mean, there's not a whole lot of centers down there, so we're gonna try and get this thing figured out and try and get a center out front there.
Real quick there, Jordan, have you seen what they've been up to over at MRC Racing?
I've been watching. I see they're like a fleet of 3 now, maybe 4. I kind of hear. Me and my partner were just discussing that. I was like, man, like Flamborough's gonna be some tough competition this year.
I was about to say, I'm like, when you said like they don't have that many bone stocks, I'm like, did you not hear how many They're coming out with that with their own team. That's 3. That's probably about an eighth of the field right there.
Yeah,
Half the
no,
field.
that was my bad. I meant to say there's not a whole lot of centers out there because I don't know, Megan. Is there any centers that run down there full time?
I
Not
don't think
full
so.
time. It's
Doesn't-
all
They just show up for like the special events and like enduros, right?
yeah. Like I
Hopefully,
think
hopefully we
it's
can get it figured out. Maybe.
The only
see.
center I even know of that races in Ontario is Calvin Reeser.
The other one there was our good buddy Craig Cole from Triple B too.
Yes.
He's got the older one, then he's got the newer one there. That's quite the rocket. But those things are hard to find.
Yeah.
Actually, I think there is a Flamborough regular that is building a Sentra, if I'm not mistaken.
So there might be a new build.
But I'm not 100% sure.
But we're not going to name names, are we?
No, because I don't know if it's
Oh, come on, let's spread some rumors.
We'll we'll spread some rumors after we get off the air. That's when the fun really happens. All right, so it sounds like you're gonna have a great season. Like you said, you're gonna run up at Flamborough, head on down to Delaware for some big shows. You already said you want to head on out to Peterborough for a race.
Yeah, we're gonna hit up. I think we're gonna try and honestly hit up any big shows like Sunset, Peterborough. I'd like to get out to Varney. We did an enduro there like 2-3 years ago. Man, that track was so cool. It's so small and like so banked and like
Oh yeah,
cool track, man. I wish they did more. Like, but then again, always driving away. Nothing's close to us. I mean, it kind of sucks, but we're gonna go to everything and everything we can, man. Every weekend we'll be at Flamborough, and like I said, if we can hit up special events at Delaware, Peterborough, anything that's an asphalt track, we're gonna be there.
Can I make a suggestion?
100%.
Sauble Speedway.
Yep, 100%. Catch us there. Do you ever go there?
Do I go there?
Yeah. Do you ever go there? Like,
I've been there. I was there last year.
Were you?
Yeah.
Well, when we go up there, make sure it's a night that you're going to be able to go up there, and we'll go up there together.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll pick me up on the way. I'm sure you guys will bypass my house anyways.
Probably, man. We hit pretty much every little city on the way out of here. So
I'm over in Brampton right now. So
also, yeah, you're pretty much all on the way then.
yeah, I think I'm pretty. Yeah, it'll be on the way.
That's not
you guys
bad.
will just
Well,
go up 10.
yeah, well, we'll have a seat open for you.
Was it Wednesday? Yeah, it's a Wednesday night race, and it's the Dash for Cash. Oh, now I want to make sure I'm actually doing that correctly because I'd hate to promote something. Dude, I should know this. I need to know the schedule off the back of my hand.
It's still kind of early in the season. Like, they're still kind of coming out a little fresh, right?
Yeah. Well, it's the last.
Aren't you like the social media manager for them?
Yes, I am the social media manager for them.
Literally post that stuff.
Shame on you, John.
I know. So for your car, it'd be a combined 4. It's 40 laps for $750 to win on August 2nd.
I'll have to look into those rules and see what we can do to this hot rod. Spice her up a little bit.
Do whatever you want. There's no rules.
I was gonna say, is that the one where we can have like a tuned computer and race tires and okay, yeah.
Do whatever you want. Put a turbo in it for all you care.
Don't give us any ideas, man. If my mechanic heard that, he'd be flipping through Facebook Marketplace looking for a turbo right now.
Well, if he listens to the show, he's like,
Oh, he'll be listening. We're supporters of you, man. I make sure I watch it and he watches it. And I just realized recently that you're on Spotify there too, because I'm always out driving around. I was like, it'd be cool if he's on Spotify. I looked you up on Spotify. Sure enough, there you are. I was like, look at that. I can listen on.
We say that at the end of every episode.
Spotify is the best, man. I love it.
Oh, I use it all the time because like it's one of the best platforms for me to use. For one, they obviously get the podcast out. 2, that's where I listen to my favorite podcast.
Yeah, 100%.
Door Bumper Clear, JL Junior Download. Now I got a couple more to listen to because now the Denny Hamlin's got one. Got to listen to that one. Stickers and Scuffs is on there. Love those guys. Any even Canadian racing podcast that's available is on there, which is awesome. And then of course the music catalog that they have on Spotify is just
Spotify is not really as filtered as YouTube, I find, either. Spotify is kind of more like have your free words, say what you want, where YouTube's like, nope, can't say this, can't say that, so we're just gonna censor it, which, I mean, come on, freedom of speech.
Hey, you're not wrong, but at the same time it's also depending on who's putting it up and what they want to have out, right?
Yep, 100%.
So before we let you out of here, like you said, we're hopefully we'll see you out there. I don't know if I'll make it up for that race on the Wednesday. The only reason that is because I did just start a new job.
Yep.
So don't know if I'm going to be able to get that day off. But if I can even get the day off, I may make a trip up.
Well, as long as we get together for one race, that's cool with me.
Yeah.
Whenever you're free, man, you let me know when you're free, and we'll
I would say I'll bring the
there.
GoPros, but my GoPros will have to be in other cars to create content.
That's cool, man. I got some GoPros I can shoot you some footage of.
Absolutely, that would help.
We got lots of I got so many cameras around here, and honestly, like between having a family, trying to take care of these cars, driving to the tracks and stuff like that, like I got so much footage just sits on a computer, but got lots of footage if we ever need it.
Hey, I got a buddy if you ever need some help editing and getting up on YouTube.
Man, 100%. That's what I've been looking for.
I'll tell you after we're done recording here. I'll give him a shout out now. It's Vision 20 Studios.
Yeah.
He's on Facebook, so go check him out.
Cool.
But he's edited some of our videos for us.
Cool. I'll have to check that out, man. That's what we kind of been looking for. Someone to kind of give us a little bit of a hand with taking care of some of our videos. Like I said, there's just so much stuff going on. Like
he's gonna hate me for putting it out there because he wants to do like gaming videos and stuff like that. I mean, I don't game too much, and I'm just like, hey man, you want more footage? Yeah, okay, race stuff.
Hey, it is what it is, man. Keeps him busy, right?
Absolutely. Honestly, man, I love what he does. He takes care of me because I sometimes I can't get the footage the way I want it to, but yet I tell him what I'm looking for and he gets it done the way I want it to.
There's a lot of like what my thing was there's just so much little technical stuff, man. Like to sit there and go through it all and like watch the video over and over and over again, man. Like you just spend hours in it because like I don't want to say I'm perfectionist, but I like things done a certain way. And like if I don't like it done a certain way, like I'll just keep on sitting there editing. That was my problem. I did 2 or 3 videos and I was like, man, I'm killing a whole day just doing this. Like,
yeah,
I can't keep on doing this.
No, it gets too much after a while. And honestly, man, I feel that because like that's why I've gotten down to a science where essentially like even when I do these episodes, I do this stuff, I cut and paste where I need to, and then just let it flow from there.
Yeah, you get in the routine of what needs to be done kind of deal, yeah. Right? And then just kind of, which makes it a lot easier, man, once you kind of get in that routine. But man, it's crazy the editing and all the technical stuff, man. I try to stay away from it. It's too much for me.
But yeah, man, if you need some help, go check out Vision 20 Studios.
100%.
I'll send you the link for him. I know he doesn't listen to me, but he definitely checks out. Make sure. I know he doesn't.
That's a shame, man. He should out. When I send him a message there, I'll tell him make sure he checks the podcast out. Tell him he's missing a lot.
Check at the 1 hour 30-minute mark to see what's been said.
Yeah, you gotta pin it so he knows where to watch. Hey, just watch this whole segment.
Hey, dude, right here, check this out.
Just cut and clip a little clip of it.
He supports what I do, but he's not really big into racing. And I've known him since high school. One of my best friends. So
it's kind of hard if you're not into racing, man. Listen to racers talk about stuff you don't really know.
That's exactly
going on, right?
Yeah. Like it's different for me and him to talk about it compared to like us to talk about it.
100%. Like
I remember he went out and got NASCAR Heat 4 so him and I could play against each other. He's like, how do you drive these things? I'm like, oh, we're on the dirt stuff on NASCAR Heat 4. I'm like, oh, you just let it hit the chip about 4 times, you let it off, set it through the corners, then you get on about just before midway, you send it, and it's like, do you mean? What do you mean hit the chip? I'm like, when it da. He's like, yeah. I'm like, you let it hit about 4 times and you let off. You drive the car in, then just before the middle of the corner, you slam on that throttle, hook it around the corner. And he's like, how do you know this? I mean, I got my stuff in 2020. What was going on in the world? How do you think I mastered this?
Takes time, man. It takes time.
Exactly. Hell, what was that? I had that game for 2 days, and I ended up in a freaking racing league. I maybe put a total of like 4 hours on the game total. And next day, this guy's like, "You want to race?" I'm like, "Shoot, what else do I got going on right now? There's nothing going on in the world, so let's have some fun." That's how I met my buddy in Texas. So, but yeah, we just keep going off the rails, and I love it. Anyways,
that's how it is, man. It's life, off the rails.
You know what? We need to get people who seem to have all our same mindsets, like yourself, Brandon Feeney. There's a few other guys I could think of. I can't think of the top of my head here. Get us all into a room and just watch what happens.
Oh man, try and get the mic to talk to it first. You'd have a bunch of guys fighting over a microphone.
We'd have make sure we have microphones for everyone. No one's fighting over a mic.
Everybody's strapped up. That's what we need in the race cars for bone stocks is little mics under everybody's helmets, so when people get into each other, you can kind of listen to what's going on. That'd be so wild.
Dude, I love the mic'd up situations.
Oh, it'd be so wild. It'd be so funny, man.
Megan, you guys need to start doing that for your team, please.
I'm going. There's a few where we have the GoPro on the roof, but you can still hear me in the car. And
that's always the best when you can hear them on the cameras like that. It's so funny.
Honestly, with how many times I put a GoPro in people's cars, they're like, "Does that thing pick up audio?" Yes, it does. Oh, I may swear you may need to have to censor a lot. Meanwhile, throughout the entire time, I don't hear a damn word.
No way.
And I'm like, and they're like, "Oh, how many swears did you hear?" I'm like, "I heard not a damn one." The only time I ever heard a swear word was when my GoPro was in Jake Gilbert's car last year in the CVMs, and he blew a motor at the end of the straightaway on the backstretch going into 3 at Flamborough and looped it, and then he smacked the back of the car up against the outside wall in turn 3, and all you hear is the F word at the top of his lungs, and I'm like, that's the first one I've heard. That's the first one after everyone have freaking all these swear words. I'm like, that's the first and only one. I guarantee the only reason I heard it was because the car shut off. The helmet muffles a lot. I'll admit to that. If you got a decent helmet, it muffles a lot.
100%, man. You don't hear too much, especially when you got your one-way radio into. You don't really hear a whole lot.
No. So I've been trying to get you out of here for about like 5 minutes now, 5-10 minutes. And I realize I've been going on these stupid rants as per usual. So right now, Jordan, we are going to give you the floor. You can thank anyone from your mom, your dad, anyone you want to thank. At the end of it, get Nick, get Josh in here. So that way they get the proper recognition that they deserve. And then we'll get you out of here for the night.
Sounds good, man. Well, I hope you got about a half hour because I got
oh, we're good. I don't got a time limit.
Man, I got a lot of people to thank. This whole flat broke. Like if this was me individually doing this by myself, wouldn't be as big. But what this whole thing turned into, like there's so many people to thank. I'm gonna start off with my parents because my parents has always been there, always supported me. They're the ones who got me into this whole racing deal. If it wasn't for them, wouldn't be here. So I gotta thank my parents. After that, I gotta thank my wife because, like I said, a lot of the times I come down here and take a lot of time away from our family. I know family time means a lot to her, so to be able to come here, do this, do shop nights, go to the racetrack, it's a lot. So I gotta really thank her, man. I really appreciate her and everything she does for me and my racing career. My mother-in-law Tammy for the last season let me use the truck. That was a huge deal. And then after that, we get into our sponsors. We got, like I said, my partner here at Flatbrook Racing, Nick. He's really stepped up my racing program, really stepped up my career, having a really good, knowledgeable mechanic in the pits, just knowing that there's someone there that knows what they're doing, knows what's going on, has a clear head, and has someone kind of, I don't want to say he's not interested in driving, but like he likes to take care of things in the pits. He likes things done. He likes to know everything. Lug nuts are tight. This is done this way. Like he's not a person to forget things, and there's no loose ends with him. So to have a person like him really boost my confidence. Honestly, if he didn't go to Delaware with me, I probably wouldn't have done it. So I know he gave up a lot of time. He gave up a lot of money to go to Delaware with me. He took every Friday off. It was a lot, man. So to have him do this whole journey with me is a huge deal to me, man. I can't thank him enough, man. He's done a lot of work for our cars and our whole program here. And then, of course, Jonas, his partner here at Doc Jones Auto, he's supplied us with the shop tools, everything we've needed. He's letting Nick kind of stray away from work at times and kind of tinker away on the cars and kind of let us have our thing with the race cars here. So I can't thank him enough, man. Like it's just been an awesome journey with all these people. But got to thank Rick at Rem Motorsports there for building this hot rod. Made sure this car was safe. Made sure everything was done to our specs. Got to thank Treads Niagara. They came on board and helped us last year. We got Greenside Lawn and Lawn Care there. They came out and helped us. We got Peroshi Construction. We got Greg at Naga Raw Dog. He was really cool. He's an awesome guy. He wanted to come on and help us. We have my mother-in-law's restaurant there, Tammy's Breckenridge. We have another really cool sponsor, actually. It was a really good childhood friend of mine. His name is Stuart Graham. I kind of always known this guy, and we've always been really good friends. And I kind of talked to him when he started picking up my program, getting into Delaware and doing this asphalt stuff here. And I said he'd actually just opened a business. It's kind of funny how it worked out. He just opened this business that he's got this brand new Ford F450. And he's going to be a hot shot and tow stuff for people. So I was like, man, how cool would it be if you towed our cars to the track for us? Like, good way to kind of represent you. He's got his truck all lettered up with all kinds of cool stuff on it, so it looked really nice. So I'm like, man, how badass would it look? Your truck pulling in with our race car on it, like this looks so cool. And then he's got this big, huge, I want to say like 53-foot flat deck, and he would tow our two V6 cars that are decorated like police cars up to Merrittville. So seeing something like that rolling, man, it was so cool. Like all the kids loved it, everybody loved it, man. It was just something so cool to do. And then so yeah, I got to really thank Stuart. He drove us up to Delaware quite a few times. Our first night to Delaware, man, it was such a cluster. We brought up my camper, we brought up a race car, we were late. Things were all over the place. He spent a lot of money in gas, a lot of his time, his fiance's time. They're such a cool couple, man. If anybody ever needs anything towed, anything ever moved, man, I highly recommend Stone Ridge. They'll get it moved for you safely and efficiently. I got to thank my good buddy Adam Nichols as well. Nichols Welding there. He just opened another business, Nichols Lawn Care there. Anytime we were in a big wreck, man, he's pulled through for us. When we did the 50K race there, we built a car pretty much in 2 days, and it finished fourth place at that 50K race, so not bad. So got to get a huge shout out to that guy. He's got a young family too, so for him to kind of take time away from them, come out to our shop here in Niagara Falls, go to my parents' house, wherever we needed him, man, he would show up and make sure we got things done and everything was safe and everything was good to go. So huge shout out to Adam Nichols there and his wife Angel. I got another huge thank you I got to give out is to our good buddy. This is actually Nick's brother, Mike. He's the one that makes these cars look so beautiful. I buy the sheets of graphic. He cuts them out, makes them look pretty. Tell me what you want. I'll stick it on the car for you. He does that. He takes care of a lot of our financial stuff, a lot of our business letters, anything like that. He's really tech. He's very good. He's been a part of this program ever since we started. So I got to give a huge shout out to him for helping us along the way, man. It's been a long learning curve, and with everything we've been doing. And then we've had our one of my good buddies, Nico. He's been a part of our program ever since we started as well. He owns NM Heating and Air Conditioning in Port Colborne there. He's always kept my family warm and cool in the summer. So it's cool to have him there. He's been a huge help to us. Got to thank my buddy Josh Sill here. He comes out and helps us out when we need help with the cars, comes to the shop, hooks us up with a sweet mic, helps us with the soundboard, making sure we're set up and ready for your podcast here, so we sound halfway as decent, make it as best as we can. And I could keep on going on and on, man. Like there's Division General Contracting, there's Peroshi Construction, the list just goes on and on, man. Like there's just so many people to thank. Just so grateful for everybody to help us with this program. Like it's just more than racing to us, man. It's like a big family. We like to get together, and even though we're getting together working on cars, we're laughing, we're having fun, man. Like I said, my buddy Nick here, man, he's been a huge help. We drove 3 hours every Friday up to Delaware, man. Like sitting in that car seat, going there and back, it takes a lot, and that means a lot of dedication. Like I was a little disappointed there wasn't more awards at the Delaware ceremony there, because if there was anything for like most dedicated person, 100% hands down, it has to go to Nick, because like I said, to sit in that car and ride there and back, and then to watch me race and like just everything, man. Like it's crazy. It's hard to find people like that. You know what I mean? Like, so this whole racing deal, everybody, like I said there, like can't thank everybody enough for this whole deal. I can't thank you guys enough for having us on here. Cause I mean, every little bit of promotion helps, man, especially when you're a smaller team like us. Like me and him are just two guys. We don't have any huge sponsors. We're just here, just kind of having fun, making the best out of what we can, and trying to turn as many laps as we can while we're here.
I love it.
Sorry for stealing the microphone for so long there.
Oh, dude,
I told you guys, I got a list, man. Like it's not just It's not just one car here. Like this is just our most beautiful, prettied up car that Mike made here. Like we got police cars scattered everywhere. We got a 50K car up at our buddy's house in Woodstock there. We got cars scattered at my house. We used to have cars at my mother-in-law's restaurant. It's like we got cars everywhere, but like when people help us out, man, they're not just a part of one cart. Like if you're sponsoring us, you're going on everything we do. It's a family, man. Like we're all in this together, man. Like I said, I'm not one person to take I don't take anything for granted. I'm very, very grateful for what I am. I'm very grateful to be in this position I'm in. I'm very grateful to be able to raise. I'm very, very grateful to be here to be able to even talk to you guys. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of people that'll probably watch this and wish they had this, or wish they had the race car, or wish they could just, you know what I mean? There's so many people in different positions. So I'm just very grateful to be in the position I'm in.
That's awesome.
Absolutely, man. Like honestly, I completely understand that. Like, you know, to be fair, I'm the guy that's sitting over here. She's like, man, I wish I had what you had. But
man, honestly, the biggest thing I'd say to anybody out there, man, is don't give up. Anybody can do it. Honestly, like you may not start with a car you want. Like I have a lot of friends that are like, oh, I want to race street stock. It's like, man, just
start with the bone stock.
Exactly, man. Get a bone stock, get a mini stock, get something small.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll get some good sponsors. Like anybody can do anything, man. If you want to race, go out there and race. You can do it. Don't let anything hold you back. Don't let financial stuff hold you back. Don't stress about it. Just go out there, make memories, man. That's all we're here doing is making memories, right? That's all I'm here doing.
You're exactly right, man.
Making the best out of everything, man. You can't be negative. You can't be.
Oh yeah.
Just gotta keep everything positive, man. Even if you wreck your race car, man, you can't be negative about it. Just stay positive.
Be negative for about 5 minutes and then realize like,
yeah, you can be a little pissed off, throw your helmet, throw your wheel, kick the car, maybe shoot somebody in the finger, whatever. You know. At the end of the day, he's gotta be grateful. Gotta be grateful for the position.
Stewart.
Yeah, exactly, man. You never know.
The only problem with us is like with guys like who are lower level, we can't do a full Tony Stewart and throw a helmet at another car because once it hits another car or you know you throw it or whatever, you got to replace it.
Yeah, we don't quite have the privileges those guys have.
Yeah,
we don't get the slap on the wrist. We get the you're out of here.
Yeah, what was the old tracks used to have a rule? If you fight in the pits, you're kicked out for the next week. You fight on the front stretch, you get an extra $100 in your payout.
Honestly, man, it should be that's the way it should be. If two people want to fight, it's dangerous, man. But honestly, if two people want to fight and agree to do it, it's the same thing as hockey. If two people want to fight, let them have it, man. Like
no sucker punches, but yeah,
keep it clean. Keep it clean. Like if you want to maybe throw a couple shots, and especially if you're going to do on the front stretch where fans are going to get entertainment, you're going to get money out of it. Maybe have a couple officials by just in case things do get a little hectic. But
yeah,
if they're going to fight, they're going to fight, man. They're going to do it on the front stretch. They're going to do it in the pits.
I mean, all of us who are in the pits know if there's going to be something happening.
Oh man, especially
let's be real. We all know.
Yeah, these cars are our babies, man. This car may not be a pro late model, but I love this thing just as much as I'd love a Lamborghini or Ferrari. I can tell you that.
Absolutely.
This is my Ferrari.
Yeah.
All right, Jordan. Before we get you out of here, why don't we get Nick and Josh in the background and give everyone a big wave?
Sounds good. And then I got a little send off I'm going to do for you guys.
All right. I wonder what it could be.
I'm excited.
Like I'm nervous. He started it up.
I was hoping for that.
We'd figure we'd end it in a little fashion here, the flat broke style.
Heck yeah.
I don't know if you can. I don't know if you want to edit that out, but that's there for you.
Oh no, we ain't editing that out. That was
stays.
The boys didn't really know what to do. I just told them to get in the camera. They wanted to see, so they're probably just kind of like, "What are we doing?" Yeah, those are the boys. Like I said, you seen my main mechanic Nick on here. Like I said, always give a huge thanks to him. He's been a huge part of this program. Got to thank Jay Still. He's got to get up early for work tomorrow. So as soon as we're out of here, we're packing stuff up, loading the car up, and heading back to Port Colborne.
Well, Jordan, thank you so much for joining us this week on the show. Thank you for the great setup, the great backdrop. Thank you to all your guys for their support and helping you get set up tonight. We appreciate you. I hope to see you at Motorama, get you some stickers. But other than that, man, we'll get you out of here for the night so you guys can get all set up and cleaned up because it is almost 10 o'clock at night. We're going to have to do a quick outro here ourselves before we get off the mic and get going as well because I know both of us have early mornings. So, Jordan, thank you so much, man. It's been a pleasure.
Awesome, man. I appreciate this. This has been really fun. I hope we can do another one in the future here when we're hopefully a little more advanced and our program's a little bit better.
Absolutely. You guys are always going to have an open invitation to come on, all right?
Awesome. Appreciate it. Nice talking to you guys.
All right. You as well. Bye now.
Take care.
And we're back after our great conversation with Jordan. That was a lot of fun. I love that he fired up the car to send us off. Send us off from our conversation with him. Good luck this season. It's gonna be cool seeing them over at Flamborough though, with it racing against you guys.
I'm excited for that.
Look at that. Just another car coming up to Flamborough.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully we're gonna get his mechanic Nick on here. Gotta thank all the guys for helping. We definitely gotta appreciate everyone helping out Jordan to get him set up. Because that is arguably right now the best setup I think we've ever seen. Like, we've had guys come on here with a car in the background, but like the fact that he made sure he was so far out of the shot,
yeah,
so that we could see the car.
Like, I couldn't help but to admire it.
Yeah, like I
love
found
that
myself
shot.
looking at the car more than trying to talk to him.
Mhm.
And he was great. That was a lot of fun.
He's definitely, I feel like he's just a really genuine and humble and fun person to talk to. So,
you know
that's
what? And we're gonna have that chance to talk to him more at Motorama,
mm-hmm.
where Megan is gonna be doing all the talking, everybody. I'm gonna stay silent behind the camera this time. By the end of it, I guarantee you're gonna be like, piss off, Jon, or
This is my show now.
Megan's gonna take over here soon, and it's just then you guys won't have to listen to me. That's
I couldn't. I hate listening to myself as it is.
you know what? Hold on. I feel you because I hate listening to myself. But you want to know what the worst part is? Is with these on, I get myself feeding back to me. So I hear myself the entire conversation, whereas I can't hear myself like this. Like, I can't, like, it's, how do I put it? I can't tell that I'm speaking.
Yeah.
Because like you don't have earphones in, do you?
No.
So when I'm talking to you, you know how when you talk and you can hear yourself.
Yeah.
When I'm talking, I don't hear myself. I hear myself.
Yeah.
Right? I don't hear come out of my mouth and come into my ears. I hear coming out of my mouth into the microphone, into the ears. And that is a weird feeling.
Definitely.
But I've gotten used to it. Like, it's weird. I've been doing this for what, 80, this is episode 84. For 84 episodes now. And it still freaks me out for a little bit. It's like, that's really what I sound like? Damn, I thought I sounded hell of a lot better than that, especially when I do some certain voices. I do sound like I this is when I really can tell I don't say Canadian vintage modifieds. I can hear myself how I say how it comes out.
Yeah.
Canadian vintage modifieds. Like, it doesn't sound. Oh my god. Before we go on any more rants here, next week on the show, guys, we are having the boys from Stickers and Scuffs join us. That is the plan as of right now. I gotta go double check, make sure they're still good for next weekend. And making sure we're on our schedule. We don't have anyone else who's supposed to be coming on that's not supposed to be there. I hope the Clash was a good race. I know we're missing it. I'm missing it right now. As when we got started 2 hours ago, that is when the Clash, like the race was going to start.
Mm-hmm.
And by the sounds of it, it's still going on. So when I get off of here, I'm probably going to run downstairs real quick and see if I can catch the ending of it, if it's not over.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this, the one weird thing about what I saw, I turned it on, I was watching the heat races. It felt weird seeing Kyle Busch not in his number 18.
So that's so weird. Yeah.
But you know what it was, though, when I watched it? I was like, he's at home. Like, I don't know what it was. There was just something about watching him in that 8 car today. Oh, Jacqueline just gave me an update. Her boyfriend's in 3rd place. For anyone who doesn't know, Jacqueline's favorite race car driver is Bubba Wallace. I don't know what it is. She just loved the name. And then next thing you know, she's she's in love with him. If you see her and there's a reason she has Bubba Wallace. She can hear me. I love it. I got my phone just over to my left side here so I can see if she texts me. And there's a reason. Actually, you can't see it out camera shot, but I have a 2311 diecast back there, and technically it is Jacqueline's. I did technically buy it for Jacqueline. It's just been in my possession. Like I bought it for me technically at first because she wasn't like this. Like this is when they dropped.
Yeah.
I'm not opening your snap right now. I'm still recording. But I bought it just before we started watching NASCAR together. So I was like, oh, like I was actually like once I realized, and I forgot I was getting it because I bought it in January of like 2021, and all of a sudden it showed up in the mail in September of 21.
Holy.
Well, that's the back order they're on. So I'm like, damn, like so like when it showed up, I was like, oh, what's this? And I was like, oh, it was like Christmas. Because I forgot.
Surprise. I got
I was
this
like,
for you.
yeah, like technically this is for you, but I mean, like, I did buy it for me because I thought it was cool that Denny was starting a team. I did go out and get her own little 1/64th diecast.
Mm-hmm.
And then I try and buy and find whatever bubble wall stuff I can for her. And I love when she has different questions like, why is his stuff on the website number 43? I'm like, because that's what he was before he went to the 2311 car. So I love messing with her with that stuff. But um yeah, I'm hoping that was a good race. I'm hoping the Clash was a good race. That just means we're getting close to our own season. That means we're getting closer to Motorama and then getting up to, we're just a few months out.
Mm-hmm.
Schedules are out. I'm planning on how my season is going to look. I'm hoping to actually put out a schedule this year. I said I was going to do one last year, but I need to do one this year. With me not being around the CVMs as much, I'm going to take some time and go to some of these different tracks. Like Peterborough, I want to get to Brighton. I want to get to Brighton this year. And I want to get there when the hot rods are there.
Yes, definitely.
So, Megan, figure it out because I want you to come with us.
I'll have to get my dad to drive for that weekend.
And you know what? There's some tracks I want to get to. I want to get to Sunset. I was about to say Barry, and I was like, Barry hasn't been around. We were talking about that yesterday too, and
Yeah.
I think Jacqueline was just outside my room right now. The way she's texting me, I think she's just outside. But yeah, I want to get to Sunset. I want to take Jacqueline to some of these tracks too.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's been to Flamborough, and I know she loves Flamborough. She loves Flamborough, but I know she wants to travel some more.
Definitely.
And I think she would love to see some of these other tracks and see what kind of racing they produce. I'm sorry, guys. If you actually see what's happening right now, every little beep beep you guys hear, it is Jacqueline texting me. She is just outside the room, I guarantee you. Because I don't think I'm that loud. Yes, you are. I'm just waiting for that. I'm waiting for that now. But we're gonna get on out of here. Thank you everyone for listening to the True North Racing Podcast. That's episode 84 is gonna be in the books now. I think it's 84.
Mm-hmm.
Where the hell are you? I don't know. I'm not even going to question right now. She says she's not home. I don't know where the hell she is. So I don't know. I'm not even going to question this right now until we get off the air. So Megan, why don't you send us home?
Thank you all for listening to the True North Racing Podcast. You can stay up to date on everything going on by following us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to keep up to date with all of the latest content from Jomo Media and Promotions. For John Morrison, I'm Megan Mitchell, and we'll see you guys next week.
See you guys.
See ya.
Engine rooming by, smell the gas and feel the vibe, going into overdrive. Drop the flag, then the car zooming by. Ayy, True North Racing, let's go.